Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Craft the World. And on this episode, we are going to continue where we left off. Now, if you guys remember, we have been working on our house here, and we have been basically trying to finish off the rooms that we had started previously in earlier episodes and just kind of forgotten about because we got so, or at least I did, got so wrapped up in trying to get better armor so I could survive the waves better. And we've kind of gotten to the point where the waves aren't that big of a deal. Like, we can handle them for the most part with the little Tesla towers that we have. We have 3 on one side, 2 on the other. And the main reason behind that really is just the fact that they usually have 2 waves on this side, where lately we've only been getting 1 wave over here. And we have a really nice setup right here where it can kind of fire down. Preferably you would have another row of these little hatches. That way the enemy can't fly underneath with the gargoyles or something along those lines. But not too bad, actually, the way we have it. I could lower it maybe 1 level down, or maybe 2. Go 2 levels down, and that way we could have the hatches and a nice little safety margin. Because again, with just 2 spaces there, they sometimes will, put a shield guy down here, jump up on top of them, and just be kind of chipping away at the floor underneath it. And that could be really, really devastating, because if they destroy that floor, I'm pretty sure the tower comes with it. And that would be a really hard mistake to live with. That would suck really bad. So at some point I may end up, changing that so that that will never happen to me. But at the moment, not really a big deal, which is again why I've been kind of concentrating on the room down here. And I've just been waiting basically for them to finish off some of these tiles. And they actually have, but they haven't taken any back, so I will throw down some little minions to help with that task. That way they don't have to stop, because I know at some point the items around them, I think, becomes an issue for them, and maybe the priority changes. If you have 60 items around you, maybe they have it where you just stop doing everything else and you pick up some items because apparently nobody else is or something. I don't know what the thinking behind it is, but it definitely does seem to be the case that they will stop and everything's gone, or pretty much everything's gone over here, and then they will go back to work. So, but it takes a while to get to that point. Like, they have to put a lot of items down there, so it's not really that big of a deal. Like, you can get away with really not worrying about it for the most part. So we are going to go ahead and keep replacing this. That was weird how that replace Earth sign was gone. Like I said, I've been getting some weird bugs lately, and I think it all has to do with me, basically updating the game after the level has started. That's the only thing I can think of that I did that could have somehow remotely messed up the game, at least for this level, because I am getting issues that just are kind of strange ones that not a lot of people run into. Some other people have complained about some of the stuff, but for the most part, everybody seems to be okay. So unless I'm just one of the super rare people who just happen to start the level perfectly fine and put the update perfectly fine, and I just happen to get like the wrong bugs in my game like some people have. It's just really, it seems like that would be the stretch rather than just maybe it was just the update, is what I'm saying. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see if I uninstall the game, reinstall it, put my save game back, and replay this level from scratch. If we get the same issue, then maybe I would lean towards the fact that it's a bug in the game, and for whatever reason the combination of me doing all that has some kind of like freaked it out or something. And if that happens, I really don't know what to do with that other than starting from scratch. And yeah, there would be like a 2-week gap in my videos unless you guys wanted to see more of me like rushing through the levels as fast as possible to get back to this point, because that's basically what it would be, is me just kind of rushing back here. Because once you've played the level, yeah, there's a certain amount of enjoyment in going back. I guarantee you there would be. But, for the sense of making the videos, it would be very inconvenient for you guys to have to sit there and wait for that time. And so for that reason alone is kind of a good enough reason for me to rush through it and just, get back to the point as which we are right now. That way we can see the 4th level. Like, I really, really want to see this new level. I also do want to play Sandbox, so maybe that's what we could do. Like I said, only worst case scenario is if we get all the way back here and it still doesn't work, but hopefully that's not the case. That would just really, really suck. But because I like to do it in order. Like, I like to beat the whole game, and then come back and do the sandbox, because the sandbox sounds really cool. From what I've heard in there, you don't have to go through like the tech tree the way we have to in campaign mode. You can just build the item or make the item if you remember the recipe. I think that's going to be the hardest piece for me, is just like remembering what all the stuff is, because right now I have that safety net where I think I know how to make 2 or 3 things, like the torches is just a piece of wood and some of that resin. It's a very, very easy thing to remember. But some of the other ones, like, I guess I could remember how to make mithril bars, you know, because it's just the 2 pieces of metal and stuff like that. So easy ones like that, yeah, I could get away with. But, man, I don't know if I would have enough of a memory bank for all of those items, especially like the furniture and stuff. Although I think maybe you can still unlock it in the tech tree, maybe? I don't know how that works. I just know that you can skip ahead if you want. So maybe you can still come in here and unlock it bit by bit. And then, you know, if you forget something, you will eventually unlock it anyways. But being able to jump to mithril would be so cool right off the bat, because there's a couple of times where you can find some mithril pieces off of like those jars or something like that, that you might be able to make like one really, really good staff for your wizard or something. I think that would make a huge difference really early on. I need to make some more of these tiles. I guess we have enough to do that. We'll make a few more. And I do need more wooden ones as well, so yeah, we'll use some of this wood. Hopefully we won't have to regret that, although I try to chop down as much of that as I can whenever I see it. And I think there was a little bit more up here. Not really. I mean, I don't want to mess with that up there. I guess we can go ahead and grab this. We do got another tree here. And I'm really, really anxious to see how these little loophole things work, because basically the way I've been told about them is that your little dwarfs basically will jump inside and use them as some kind of like cover to fire out from or something. I don't know if you can put a melee guy in there. I guess you probably could, because he'd just wait until they get really close and then used it as protection as well. But yeah, again, a lot of unknowns, because I just never got around to putting that down. And some of these are not new items, like you get them in other levels, but for some reason, probably because I was in a bit of a rush just to survive, that I kind of, you know, bypassed a little bit of the stuff with the house, which, you know, I really, really shouldn't have done. I kind of regret that a little bit now. But, you know, when I do these videos, it's weird to explain, because you do have that sense of, I want to do things that are interesting to everybody watching. And so sometimes what I want, actually a lot of the times what I would prefer to do, kind of falls by the wayside, and I do what I think is best for the viewers out there. And I think that's the main reason I've been rushing through a lot of these levels and kind of missing some of the stuff that maybe most of you don't want to see. It might be boring for quite a few of you guys out there, I don't know, but I'm sure there's a few of you who really, really would like to see that, and I'm one of them. So I've kind of been taking a little bit of time here on the last few episodes to kind of do that. But if you guys don't like that, let me know, because I'll just make a few of these here and there for the people who do, and I'll keep playing. Holy crap, did we just get 4 waves? We just got 4 wave, guys. Oh my god, this is... I don't know how well this is going to work out, because this is not sealed up over here, and if this little... Yeah, here they come already. Okay, guys. Start killing these things. Are they coming from over here on this side? No, they're not. Okay. Come on, get over here, guys. Oh, nice. Look at it. I got 2 of the mages. Holy crap. They wrecked that guy. Oh, my God. They did not joke around with that. Wow. Wow, that was crazy. Those things used to get really close to my base and then beat on it for a little while before they even got close to being destroyed. And these guys, man, there are just tons of them. No, there's only 1 portal on this. I don't know why I thought we had 4. But basically, because I mentioned the fact that they always come from this side, the computer somehow heard me and decided to kind of make me regret that. They're not going inside these. Do I have to click on them or something? I don't know how they work. Like if your dwarves are supposed to automatically... Or maybe only if you tell them to attack an enemy close by one do they get in there? I don't... If any of you guys have any clue, I mean, maybe I'll figure it out on this episode or on future ones. I'm going to record like 4 or 5 tonight, so you may watch 3 or 4 more episodes before I finally figure that out. But let's do this, kill these guys. It's definitely something I'm not familiar with. So come on, kill him. And I do kind of want to refine all of my skills in this level because I've heard. I keep mentioning the next level, but I've heard some really, really tough horror stories with that, and so I want to be prepared for it. Like, I don't want to go in there and be like, oh, should I use this? Should I use that? I want to know what it all does. I want to have some experience using that item, and so when a certain situation kind of calls for it, I'll just be able to just do it. Because on this level, granted it's the 3rd one, I still had a little bit of difficulty setting up my base and making it closed off, and I was making a whole bunch of little stupid mistakes that basically I had done previous levels, but was just sitting there having fun and not really remembering every little detail that pops up. And some of you guys may do that. You may just subconsciously remember everything, but when I'm getting into the story and I'm getting into like what I didn't even check the other side. Hold on 1 second, guys. How is this doing? Are they attacking? No, they're not. That kind of sucks. I figured, me and Tamara both figured, if you put a 3rd level, that would, see, they're going ahead and attacking, but only once they get up to this point. Like, it will not attack in this direction. So I'm thinking maybe on the next one I will lower this down and give it a second doorway. Maybe that's doing it. Maybe it has to see from down here or something. But yeah, not really going good over here. Like, it could be better, and I don't know what to do on this really. It's just we'll have to keep experimenting with it because I think it will work. Because I can't move the towers now. Like, I would rather reshape this entire landmass and go down further and keep this like level with the ground than try to rebuild all those because the resources are just not there. And these traps really didn't do anything, did they? I don't remember seeing anybody trapped inside those, but maybe it did. Is this guy gonna die? He's gonna die now. Get trapped. Oh, he's okay. So he is trapped. And then the towers sit there and just blast him away. That is perfect placement, if I say so myself. Like, that's probably their max range, is right there. If I had put one right here, probably wouldn't have done anything. The guy would have got stuck, and this thing wouldn't have been able to hit him, unless, of course, it was hitting somebody here and it kind of ricocheted back and forth or something. But that is a nice setup. I think I'll do that on the next level. I really like them coming underneath it rather than above it or directly at it, which is kind of what I tried on this level. Is that pillbox shape that somebody suggested that I try. It worked fairly decently at the beginning, but then once I started to expand it and put actual protection around it, then it just kind of fell apart. And I don't know if maybe I just did it in the wrong way, but yeah, it's really not working. So I think what we'll do is we'll take this down before we start messing with the rooms again. Let's see. I actually don't have any more doors. You know what? I'm gonna make the steel one because I have plenty of iron right now. That's not even an issue. Let's go back to that. We can make 2 of these. There we go. Only need 1. And again, this really needs to be the strongest area over here because I may end up having to take away this square as well. And if I do, they're gonna fall into a hole. And they're really going to be beating on that because they will have no other way of getting up here. And this kind of distracts like half of them. And when it does that, again, my towers are able to attack. And if they fall down this little hole and still are not able to attack, then these are going to be completely, overrun as soon as, they break through one of those barriers. So if that happens, I don't think they'd be able to survive even one wave, even with all my guys in here. And I pretty much lose them. So I may end up just deciding to lower it completely. If this right here does not work, just to be on the safe side and try to avoid losing them all, because I don't want to do that. It's a lot of resources. Be very careful with that. Okay, so we need to finish up over here, and I think we have enough. I do at some point, I kind of don't, but I do. I want to replace this with stone as well, maybe, but I need a place where I can plant my wheat, and this is the place I have right now, so I don't know if I really want to give that up yet. I may wait closer to the end of the level, and that way I don't kind of really have to make that decision on do I really want the resources or the way it looks. And then that way at least I can see if it's you know, the way I want for the next level. And we'll do another 2 over here. Let's see, do we have enough? We have 51. That should be enough. Now, I do eventually have to expand the ceiling here, but then again, I have to wait and see how that Tesla tower does, because if I expand the ceiling here, I won't have enough space up there to play around with. And so I would rather kind of hold off and just experiment down here for now in smaller tunnels. I mean, because I was talking with Hammer again. No, can't do that. Nope, don't want to do that either. About how big a room should be and what they've done, and they actually prefer smaller rooms. It's a good idea because it can keep things less crowded. In a big room, you're kind of, you know, inspired or encouraged to create this huge, you know, massive decorating area kind of thing. And in a smaller room, you have to pick like the one item, or sometimes at the most 2 items you're going to put in that room. And even with, you know, 1 item, it could still feel very cramped depending on like how small that room's going to be. So, you know, I don't know. It's just, if you want to experiment more with the items and see how they look with other ones, then the bigger room is obviously the way to go. As you can kind of see that some of the pictures play off of each other and some of them don't. Some of the tapestries look better with others. You can kind of just, you know, experiment that way in a big room and see how you like it. Just kind of leave it there for 20-30 minutes and come back to it and be like, do I really like it? Do I not? In fact, I just remembered I am going to change that stained glass. Where do I have it? Is it under decorating maybe? Yeah, there it is. So we'll drag that down here. And we are going to change that to the sun. Because somebody was saying they thought that would actually be, I think it was Tamara that was saying that as well, that it actually kind of made sense. It's right above the little torch, and, you know, you are underground, so that's probably something they would put down here. You know, especially if you were above ground, you would actually have like the sun come out, and I think it shines through the windows as well. So that could look kind of cool, I think, you know. But we're gonna leave it there and see what we think in a little while. House wall destroyed. Oh, that's right. Let's see. Did they? They should have made it by now. Let's see. Did they make it? Yep. So we will drag that down here, and we will put that down. It's kind of disconcerting to know that my house wall goes all the way up here. This is not exactly what I want them to consider my house. Yeah, it goes all the way up to this level right here. That is not a good idea. That is just an accident waiting to happen, because if they come in here and bust through that, then none of my dwarves can go to sleep, and I can't, you know, recuperate basically from a fight if none of my guys will rest for, you know, even just a few minutes. That's sometimes all you need, but yeah, we're gonna have to, I don't know, we might have to remove this guy, because he's not doing anything for us anyways. Oh yeah, he is. He's over here taking up this area. You know what? I think he is the reason. Yeah, because he's way too close to the surface. You know what? We are going to remove him, and we're going to lower him down here. I think the reason I didn't put him down here is because I hadn't cleared this area yet, and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it. And so I wasn't sure if he should come down, or if he should come down here. And I think, yeah, just one more level will probably do it. Come on, chop him down. You can do it. Nice. Okay, let's see. Where is that? I've never used that thing nearly enough to memorize where it's at or how to make it. Like, this is what you need. You need 3 pieces of gold and a kind of a triangle, I think a silver, and then planks on the bottom. And if you can remember that, you can do that from the very beginning if you're playing it from Sandbox. So it's kind of cool that you can get better with the game, not by, you know, progressing through it, but actually remembering it. And again, you know, that's only if you're capable of doing that. You know, if you have a very, very bad memory, replace. Do I replace it with wood, or do I replace it with stone? I guess it would be stone, actually. So let's do that. Yeah, we're gonna replace the rear, because when we put the stone down, or are we gonna put stone over here? You know what? I'm gonna see what it looks like with wood flooring on top of stone. So yeah, that's what we're going to do, replace the rear. That way it looks like, you know, the two rooms are kind of joined. Because over here, I failed to do that. And basically, this is what I had to do right here, is just make the front piece a complete solid piece rather than this kind of flooring down here. And I want to see what that flooring looks like with a wood paneling on top, basically. So we have to come over here and do a little pre-work before we can actually see anything even actually happening, which we may not have enough pieces for. I think we're going to run out here in a second. And when I get to that little bridge with the skeleton, you'll be able to see... yep, we ran out. Okay, so this little bridge with the skeleton, you'd be able to see when the piece goes down, you'll be able to see the stone in the backdrop. That's what we're replacing. And then later on, we'll come back and put the wood. And we can put a few pieces of wood down before we start making more. Replace earth. Replace earth. And do the same over here. And again, you gotta be very careful when they replace this stuff, because you never know if the piece that they're putting down is going to be in the right shape. A lot of the time they will put stuff down as far as this flooring goes, and it will only be like this one piece. And if the item is too small, sometimes it will fall through and you have to replace the item, or one of your dwarves will fall through and get hurt because it was changed right underneath them. So there's just a few things to be aware of. Nothing really big, but it's a little dangerous when they put those down sometimes. So let's come in here. We're going to need more water. That's going to be rough. Water's not easy to get in this game. Okay, we got those making. Let's see. Let's come over here and get this water while we have an opportunity to do that. We got a little bit more wood, so we want that. Got some more water and some more wood and a little bit more water. So it's nighttime right now in the game, which is cool that it has like night cycles and stuff. But I think the water lasts longer at night, so having your guys come out here when it's raining at night is far more profitable for you, basically, than having them come out here during the day. A lot of the time, my guys can't even make it up there during the day before the water is either completely absorbed from by the dirt or completely evaporated by the sun. So, especially on this level, it's tough. I mean, this is a desert level. It's when they say I can't remember what the difficulty is. Like, it goes from like easy to like, or very easy to easy, and then normal or something like that. And we're on one of the stages where it's just got a little bit more difficult. But as you progress through the level, that's when you start feeling like the difficulty. Like, it gets harder the further in it you go. Where I thought it would be really hard right off the bat, and then of course it would even out and get really easy towards the end when you get better and better technology. But it's actually the reverse, which is it's pretty weird. And I don't know why I'm getting lag right now. God, I hate my computer right now. This is not supposed to keep happening. Oh man. Well, I guess we will go ahead and end the episode here, guys. Do apologize for this. I got to get my computer sorted out because I hate producing videos like this. But again, guys, if you do enjoy these videos, please hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow my channel. And hopefully one day get rid of this computer and get me a better one. Again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.